Hi folks, Dave, the Honest Audiophile. This is the HarmonicDyne Athena, and these are my Honest Audiophile impressions. I want to thank Linsoul Audio for providing the HarmonicDyne Athena for review. Do greatly appreciate it. Linsoul Audio, you rock. Alright, so the HarmonicDyne Athena. This will set you back $180 when you purchase them from Linsoul Audio. They have a 50mm dynamic driver with a M-shaped side venting system, impedance of 34 ohms, sensitivity of 116 decibels, frequency response of 10 Hz to 70 kilohertz, and then they weigh 320 grams. They come in a rather large blue box. I like the color of them. Got some specs on the back, a little bit of branding on the front. You open it up, and it has a message that says, not a piece of cold device, but a piece of art with warmth. And then when you open it up, you just get the standard headphone with an accessory box. All right, so let's set this to the side. Accessories that you get. You get a HarmonicDyne branded velourish feeling bag. A HarmonicDyne Athena coin, just in case you want to do a coin flip or something. I don't know. You get a 1/4-inch adapter, a cable wrap, and a user manual, the headphones, and a cable. So you get the standard. All right, so the cable. Let's talk about that real quick. So it terminates into 3.5 inputs into the headphone. They are labeled left and right. A little bit on the large side, not bad. A big chunky HarmonicDyne labeled split. Nice braid on the cable. I like that. Feels quality. And then a big, huge, chunky 3.5. Overall, I like the cable. It's a little bit on the heavy side. Not bad, though. All right, let's talk about the headphones. So the headphones. Now, the Athena has a very unique design. Glass ear cups and glass on the slider yoke part. Fingerprint magnets. But I like the look of it. It's something different. You don't see that, especially at this price point of $180. Overall, this thing feels solid, and it looks very nice. It feels more than $180. It's a very well-built headphone, and in fact, it's my favorite build of a headphone by HarmonicDyne. I like the headband. It's got a nice feel to it. The sliders feel very sturdy. And the yokes are nice in the way that they slide and stay in place. And overall, I just like the look of them. The cups, you'll notice that they have vents on them. And that is the M-shaped side vent system. Now, when I first got these, I thought they were going to be just regular old standard closed-back headphones. I was really excited that the HarmonicDyne was going to create a closed-back headphone. Come to find out, it's a semi-closed back or a semi-open, whichever way you want to look at it. We'll talk about how that affects the sound, but yes, it is a semi-closed back. The ear pads are replaceable, and the ear cups do rotate. You got the rectangle shape. They are big as far as tall, but not really big wide. They are big enough to go around my ears, barely, but they may be causing issues for other people if you have larger ears. But overall, I find them to be extremely comfortable. Putting them on the head, when I first got them, they were a little bit on the clampy side. So I did kind of play with them a little bit, just kind of stretch them out a little bit just by kind of moving it around and then wearing them. And that clamp has disappeared. They are extremely comfortable for me. I find that the pads with the memory foam on it are extremely cushy, and they barely fit over my ears, but they're extremely, extremely comfortable. One thing that may be another concern for some is the terminations of inputs for the cable going into the headphone. I find that I do not have any issues. I have just enough clearance for where they come down. They do not touch my shoulders, but that could be a problem for some. Overall, I like the look, the build of them. They feel a lot more pricey than $180. Very well built, and these aren't going to break very easily. I found that the HarmonicDyne Athena is actually rather easy to drive, being 34 ohms of impedance and 116 decibels of sensitivity. Pretty much anything will drive them. You can run them off of dongles, DAPs, and desktop with no problems. I had no issues whatsoever. They do scale with better gear, and I found that I preferred them on desktop, but you can use them in a portable sense. Overall, I had no issues whatsoever pairing them up with any of my gear. Mytek Liberty DAC, Headamp GSX Mini, Drop THX 1 Linear, the Aueze Deckard, Aune X1S GT, the SMSL DO 300, the Singzer SA1, all of them powered it with ease, no problems whatsoever. So the only thing that I would take note of is if you put them on a warmer source, and some songs that have a lot of like mid bass or lower mids presence, these can sound a little bit on the bloated or too thick side. So just be aware of that, of the source that you're using. But overall, they're fairly easy to drive. Before we get into the sonic impressions of the HarmonicDyne Athena, I want to thank those who support me through Patreon and through YouTube memberships. Thank you very much for all that you provide. The funds that you give to the channel are much appreciated, so thank you very much. All funds that are provided to the channel are used to go back into the channel, whether it be coffee to consume while doing reviews, or gear to review or to use as comparison, also gear to use to produce the video. So thank you very much for all that you provide. It is much appreciated. If you are interested in giving to the channel, please check out the links down below. There's information down there regarding how you can contact the channel, follow the channel, support the channel on one-time gifts or through monthly support with Patreon and YouTube, Venmo, and PayPal. Also, while you're down there, don't forget to give a thumbs up or a thumbs down to the video. Also, hit that subscription button if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell. That way you'll know when the next video is uploaded. All right, so the HarmonicDyne Athena, how do they sound? Now, when they first came, as I mentioned, I thought they were just going to be regular closed back. And so I didn't really examine them very closely. I just got them out of the box, hooked up the cables, put it on an amplifier, and started playing music. And it didn't take me long to go, these aren't your typical closed back. And so I started to explore them. And I looked and I go, wow, that's a lot of vents, especially for a closed back. That's a lot of venting. And so I read some of the information, and lo and behold, they're semi-closed. So anyways, so I started to listen to them again. And I must say, the HarmonicDyne Athena, the bass is very fun. It's very engaging. It extends well into the sub bass, has good mid bass presence and upper bass presence, and it has a fullness to it. It has a lot of impact, a lot of slam, a lot of punch, a lot of kick. There's a lot to it. It'll really drive it home, but yet it doesn't dominate. It is well controlled and well behaved. It does what it needs to when it needs to, and it does it very well. It has a very nice tone, very good timbre about it, excellent details, and very good at resolution. Overall, it is a very fun and engaging bass that is driven home well while being controlled. The upper bass does have a little bit of an extra presence to it, and it can at times bleed into the lower mids, and it adds a nice body and note weight, but at times, and on the wrong source and with a wrong song, it'll sound a little too bloated and a little too thick. But overall, for the most part, everything about the bass is just awesome. I really like the bass of the Athena. The mids. The mids have nice natural warmth to them. They have a body and a note weight to them. They do thin and lean out just a little bit going into the upper mids, right around from about 1K to about 2.5K or so. It's a little bit thinner, but overall it's a very nice sounding bass, very well balanced. The upper mids are a little bit more elevated from about 2K on, but it is not shouty, it's not forward, it's not aggressive. It just has a little bit more forwardness than the lower and main mids do. Overall, I like the mids. They have a naturalism to them. They have very good details, very good resolution, and overall, the tonality of them is very natural with a nice tint of warmthness and good note weight and body. Treble. The treble is extended very nicely. It is slightly elevated, but it's not to the point of being too hot or being too aggressive or too forward in front of everything. It has a nice balance throughout. And I really do like the way the Athena does treble. It has a nice sparkle, a nice energy to it, and a good crispness and an edge to it without being unnatural. It has a very natural approach to things while being extended. Overall, the bass, the mids, and the treble of the Athena play very well together. It's a very neutralish sounding headphone, and it is very, it leans analytical, but also has just enough of the fun factor, especially down low, to keep things engaging without sounding boring. Soundstage. The soundstage of the Athena is very natural sounding. It has a proper representation of different soundstage widths, and so if it's something small, it's going to sound a little more intimate. If it's something large, it's going to sound wide and grand. It does a very good job of portraying it and putting you kind of in the moment as how your imagination would think that that track is supposed to sound. And then depth-wise, it does a very good job of allowing you to read into the stage. Everything has a nice body and note weight to it, and you can really place things in the stage. And you can go, okay, that's second or third row back, or that's this, that. Things are behind each other, in front of each other. Imaging does a very good job of tracking across the stage, and you can follow things as they go across. You can also place things very well. It's very precise and very accurate and true. Tone and timbre, as I mentioned, is very natural sounding. It has a good amount of note weight to it. It is a little bit thinner in the upper mids region, from about 1K-ish going up to about 2.5K, which had a little bit more balance to the bass and the lower mids region, but overall it is a very balanced and cohesive sound. I do not find that little bit of thinness makes things sound unnatural or offensive in any way. Timbre is very good. You can place instruments very well and differentiate between them, and you can follow them through, and it does a very good job in that regard. Detail retrieval is excellent, especially for the price point, and then resolution is fantastic as well. So overall, you're not going to lack anything with the HarmonicDyne Athena. I really do like this headphone quite a bit, and I find that it's a very good all-arounder, leaning a little bit on the analytical side and neutral side of things, but having just enough of that little bit of special sauce to keep it fun and engaging. I was listening to the Athena, and I was like, it doesn't really sound like a closed back. Sounds mostly like a open back. And it kind of reminds me of a headphone that I'm like, what is it kind of similar to? And then it occurred to me. It's a mini Sennheiser HD600. It doesn't quite have the forwardness of the 600. In the mids, it doesn't have that fullness. It is a little bit thinner in note weight and body, and it's not quite as elevated in the mids, but it does have better bass than the 600. It is more emphatic and impactful than the 600. And also the treble is a little bit more extended, a little bit more even on the Athena than the 600. Tone and timbre is a little bit better on the 600, and detail, retrieval, and resolution is pretty similar. Soundstage wise, the Athena is wider. The 600 does a little bit better with precision in imaging and in depth. I like the Athena. This thing has impressed me, and this is my favorite HarmonicDyne headphone to date. This is a fantastic headphone that I highly recommend. If you're looking for a neutral-ish, warm, open back headphone that just looks different than anything else, here you go. I like this, and I like this a lot. It's been Dave, the Honest Audiophile. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video. Speaking of next video, somewhere on screen, subscription links, notification bells. If you haven't already, please check those off. Then don't forget to give a thumbs up or a thumbs down to the video, and check out the links down below. There's all kinds of information on there regarding how you can contact channel, follow channel, support the channel. All that kind of stuff is down below, along with gear recommendations, music recommendations, and how you can do all kinds of other things, along with purchasing the HarmonicDyne Athena. So check out the links down below. Don't forget to enjoy the music, and that honesty is the best policy.